What's up? What's up? You know what's going on, man? It's Bezo803 on that social media. Welcome to another edition of Big Motion Podcast. We got the amazing Miss Sandra Gamble in the building. Counselor, author, coach, motivational speaker, and the list goes on and on and on. Just an all-around great person and definitely having big motion in the community. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Definitely an honor to have you here. Met you through my organization, Retail Therapy, the Small Business Network. You vented at my last event, Holiday Cheers. Appreciate you for being there, and appreciate you for now being here on the platform to talk about your brand and what you do. So, speaking of your brand, what it is you do for the people that they don't know you? What it is you do?
Okay, well, let me formally introduce myself. I am the Hope Dealer.
The Hope Dealer.
Yes, some people sell dope. I'm just out here dealing hope.
I like that.
People builder. Some people build houses. I build people. Mental health counselor, life coach, author, notary. Jesus girl.
You do it all, man. I love it. 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 So, what got you into, all these things that you do?
Okay, a little bit of background for me is the fact that I went to college and majored in psychology.
Okay.
I have a master's in counseling with an emphasis in mental health. But I was on a journey to kind of understand my father. Even though my parents were married and he was in the home, he was not present. He was not emotionally available for us. And so I kind of went on a journey of understanding or trying to get some understanding about my father, only to find out later that he had a mental illness. And so I was looking for answers. And the problem became a solution. I became a counselor. My parents got divorced, and I ended up taking care of father for 12 years that couldn't take care of me. And so I wanted to be the therapist that I needed growing up. Yes.
That's a beautiful story. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. So, what's been like the most rewarding, thing about your career thus far?
The rewarding thing about my career thus far is that I get the opportunity to assist people with healing, emotional healing. A lot of times when we think about healing, we think about in our health, but I deal with the emotional part of it. I consider myself an emotional healer. And my business is Hope Dealer, Wounded Healer, LLC, because I believe that when we heal other people, we help heal ourselves, right?
That's beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. You're good. You're good. So, of course, you're doing amazing things right now. 3 books out and counting. You wear many hats. But we want to go a little deeper into your backstory because, people see the great success you are now and all the amazing things you're doing. But for the people that's watching, we know that it wasn't overnight. So we want to kind of just take it back a little bit. So where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Lee County, South Carolina.
Lee County in the building. All right. I like Lee County. I was out there last week, matter of fact, doing some work. But what was like coming up for you as a child in Lee County?
I was an only child.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, only child.
Only child.
And a lot of people go, "Oh, I know you were spoiled," and that was partially true. My mother spoiled me. She did. I was the only granddaughter, so yeah, I had the attentions of my grandparents as well. But I will say that in my home, it was very unstable, again, because my dad had mental illness, and of course, I didn't know it was mental illness.
Right.
And so in the home, there was verbal abuse and sometimes emotional abuse and even sometimes physical abuse. Yeah, so people would make assumptions because they saw a beautiful home on an acre of land and a perfect manicured yard, but people don't understand sometimes what goes on inside somebody else's life in their home.
Right. Thanks for sharing that. So what kind of stuff you was into as a child growing up back then?
I always enjoyed reading, and of course playing with my cousins. You know, I was the only granddaughter, so I was kind of like a tomboy. If they climbed a tree, I would climb a tree. You know?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopscotch, just
Yeah.
a typical kid. I always excelled in school. Very quiet child growing up. But yeah, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer and defend people that couldn't have that didn't have a voice. But
Right.
of course,
Right.
I took another path.
Right. What brought you to taking a new path after you I guess graduated high school?
I guess it's weird again because I was looking for answers. I wanted to understand. I was not close with my father, and I wanted to be close, and I just knew he was different, and so I think that my pain kind of produced my purpose, right?
Mm.
You know,
Wow.
and so I tell people all the time, your pain is connected to your purpose. If you can get through the pain and get on the other side, then that's where your purpose is.
Mm. That was love. I like that. I gotta applaud that. Wow. You a big speaker. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So take us through the journey. You like I said, you went on a journey to understand your father. You go to college. You graduate. What happens after that? Do you immediately go into the workforce within your career? Are you coaching at this point? Like what's the journey in between that?
Well, my thought was once I graduated from South Carolina State University,
Okay.
Bulldog.
Bulldog in the building. What's up, SC State? Okay. All right.
I thought I was going to Atlanta, right?
ATL.
The big ATL.
Yeah.
So I was done with my dad. I'm gonna be transparent because I believe that transparency is what transforms.
Yeah.
And so in my thought process, I'm gonna come home, visit mom, but I'm going to Atlanta with my best friend, and I'm gonna live life.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't work out that way. I graduated Mother's Day, May 8th, and less than 3 weeks later, my dad was in the hospital with quote unquote a nervous breakdown.
Mm.
And so, being an only child, my parents being divorced, it was almost as if I was thrust into that role. Mm-hmm. And in my thought process, I didn't understand the capacity of it all because I was just saying, he better get well and he better get well quickly, right? Because I'm not doing this.
Yeah, right.
But it didn't work out that way. God had other plans. So I ended up taking care of dad that couldn't take care of me for 12 years.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's how the first book came out, To Hell and Back, The Power of Forgiveness and Redemption.
Mm. So what was it like being everything you've been through? And like you said, I want to go, I'm in Atlanta. Me and Beastie, we about to live life. Was it like a hard decision to say, you know what, I was gonna do that, and in spite of everything we've been through in the home, I'm gonna stay here and take care of the pops?
It was hard, and the reality of it is, I didn't know I was doing it. That makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just
I'm following you.
I was just showing up.
Yeah.
Day by day.
Yeah.
Not understanding the capacity of it all. Yeah.
Wow. So did you have like a moment where you came to understand and you was like, wow, okay, this is life now?
I did. I had a moment where I accepted the fact that I'm going to have to surrender to this situation, and put down the anger and the resentment because I was carrying that, right? And take care of the father that could not take care of me, not necessarily because he didn't want to, but because he didn't have the capacity to.
So how did that journey, 12 years, how did that whole journey shape you as a person and, shape your purpose with your business, helping others?
It's weird because, I want to talk about the number 12, and it's significant, right? And, if anybody, reads on any level, they know about the 12 disciples and the woman with the 12 issues of blood.
Right.
I was the young lady with the 12 years with the issue with dad, but what it gave me the opportunity to do was deal with myself,
Mm.
deal with the pain, acknowledging the pain that he had caused, but also getting to a space of forgiveness
Hmm.
so I could move forward and go on and help other people
Right,
who
right.
had similar experiences.
Certainly, certainly. How big is, how important is mental health awareness and treatment within the black community and family?
It is very important. It's the elephant in the room that no one talks about.
Mm.
But statistics show that 1 in 5 people will deal with a mental illness or is yet dealing with a mental illness. And my whole duty is to have those hard conversations and
Mm.
remove the stigma from mental illness, because if we can normalize taking medications for diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, then
Mm.
we need to normalize taking medications to regulate our emotions,
Mm.
okay?
Yeah, of course, of course. I love it. I love it. You see so much um, things happening within the family, especially the black family, just being torn apart, even violence. So definitely appreciate the work that you're doing, and we know that it's very, very, very important work. For anyone that may want to, reach out to you, could you plug your information?
Sure.
Yeah.
My website is dealinghope.com.
Hmm.
Again, that's dealinghope.com.
Love it, love it, love it. And the first book, To Hell and Back: The Power of Forgiveness and Redemption. So, I mean, you've done so many amazing things. When did you decide, hey, you know, I need to write, I need to become an author, I need to share this story with the world? Because you could have still did the work and not share it with the world. What made you say I need to put this in a book so it can be in the world forever?
I tried to just do the work without the book, okay?
Oh,
So
okay.
let me go ahead and put that out there. I did
Okay.
not want to be
Yeah.
an author. I did not want people to know my story, but it was a conviction.
Mm.
It was a conviction at the fact that I had gone through emotional pain. I had dealt with depression. I had
Mm-hmm.
dealt with anxiety. I had dealt with my own suicidal ideations, right?
Yeah.
And so I felt like the higher power was saying, I dare the fact that you hide that I healed you in your emotions.
Mm.
This is not about you, boo boo. This is so
Mm.
much bigger than you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had the title To Hell and Back: The Power of Forgiveness and Redemption many, many, many years before I was able to write it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I healed,
Mm.
then I was able to write it. And
Mm.
that's for somebody.
Yeah.
You have to heal so you can help.
Yeah.
It's important.
You have to heal so you can help.
Yes.
That's a powerful message right there. So, going back, like through the process of writing this book, what was the journey like? 'Cause I know you probably had to unravel some memories, some harsh times. What was that whole time like? How long did it take you to actually write it?
Well, it's weird because 2019, I actually paid a publisher. Um, I had gone to another book signing of a classmate and friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and she said that she was taking time off, and I began to tell her my story and what I wanted to do, and she said, I said I was going to take some time off. She said, but I feel like the world needs to hear your story.
Mm-hmm.
And so that day, I paid her
Mm.
a year prior to doing the book.
Mm.
And so when the pandemic hit, which the pandemic was the shift,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, now it's time for you to get in place.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went home. And I was working from home as a mental health counselor.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like now it's time. It was hard. It was hard because we are taught to hide what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And now, in order to heal and transparency, I have to expose,
Right.
you know? And it was a hard thing because there was so many things that I didn't want people to know, but I had to be transparent because transparency is what transformed.
Mm-hmm.
Weird thing about it, I completed the entire book and I gave it to my mom and I left. And I didn't even tell her all what I had in the book, because I know she would have said, take that out,
Yeah,
take that
right,
out,
right.
take
Yeah,
that
yeah,
out.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I couldn't take it out. I had to be honest. And I am so happy that I did, because so many people have come forward and have said how this book has blessed them, how it has allowed them to forgive their mother, and mend relationships with their father. I had a man call me at midnight one night, and he said, "I'm so sorry to call you this late." And he was sobbing and weeping. He said, "After reading your book," he said, "I made a decision to reconnect with my father, and I haven't talked to him in 10 years." And so it's important that we get over ourselves to do the work, because somebody needs your story.
Yeah.
Somebody's waiting on your yes. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And I mean, we have to, like you said, in order to move in your purpose and help others, you have to heal. And the black family definitely needs, healing, because that's like the basis of a lot of our problems as a community. So moving on, the second book. What was the second book?
Second book was produced 21.
Right.
So first book September 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Second book April 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I was literally walking on lunch one day, and I was saying, "So what's next? What do you want me to tell the people?" Because God said, seriously, like, we're not coming to counseling, so you're going to have to bring the counseling to the people through your books.
Yeah.
And so I heard the word good grief. And I said, good grief? And he said, yeah, let people know that you can honor the legacy of your loved one in a good way. That death is not final, it's merely see you later.
I love it. 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 And then finally, you get to give up to glow.
Right. And so, post pandemic, right? So, this was produced April 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And I had another conversation. I heard the God said that, okay, people have gotten stuck. They've gotten stuck in life. They have gotten stuck watching other people's lives. And they got to understand, if they are still here on the planet, that they still have purpose. So you need to unstuck the people. And he gave me 6 specific things to talk about in Give Up to Glow. If you want to win in every area of your life, you have to give up perfect timing. There will never be perfect timing.
Oh, you dropping bars on us right now.
Life will always be lifing.
Yeah.
But just because life is always life, it does not excuse the fact that you need to walk out what you need to walk out.
That's a little. I got a block. Man. So you do a lot of speaking engagements?
I do speaking engagements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You talking? You big speaker right now, and I gotta applaud you, because at my last event you kind of broke the ice, and you was like, hey, let everybody speak on the mic. And honestly, for some reason, most of the time when I tried to do that, everybody, and you led the way. And I guess it was just your energy, because everybody spoke on the mic, and it kind of just broke the ice in the room. So I got to applaud you for that. But it was just your energy. That's what did it, and that's why I was, yeah, she's a special one. She's different.
Oh yeah, I'm a change agent. I'm here to shift the thing.
Yeah. That was amazing to me, because most of the time they'll I don't know about that, but it's something you did when you got the mic and you led the way. Everybody just kind of put their guard down, and even the shy ones, because I got a lot of repeat vendors. They was talking on the mic, like, you don't never talk about nothing. Like, okay, so that was amazing. I really appreciate you for that. What would you say one of your greatest accomplishments so far, in your profession?
I think the greatest accomplishment is just seeing people get better mentally. Like, I deal with a lot of hurting people. Being a counselor, I worked as a counselor in adult services for 11 years. I heard a lot of sad stories. But the fact that I can come alongside a person when they're in their worst place, when they're in their crises, if you will, when everybody else is walking out, I'm walking in, and come alongside them and assist them with getting better mentally, so they could be a functioning part of society. That's the reward.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Of course, we're at the bottom of 2023 right now. A new year's on the way, 2024. Happy New Year's, everybody. Because by the time the next episode, it'll be 2024. What can we look forward to from your brand coming into the next year?
Sure. I want to back up to give up to Glow though because
Yeah, please do.
I believe that this book is a must read if you are at a point in your life where you're ready to level up. I believe that the tools in this book will assist you. I talked about the perfect timing in the first chapter, saying that there's never going to be a perfect timing. You just have to get started, right?
Yeah.
The second chapter talks about comparison, right? How we compare ourselves to other people and we miss the joy of just being ourselves.
Right, right, right.
Everything that we need is already inside of us, right? We need to give up our age. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? When you are given a vision, you're not being checked. Your death certificate and your birth certificate is not being checked. It's your faith certificate. Can you walk that thing out, right? You know, Colonel Sanders was 65 years old before he franchised KFC. So there's no excuse, right?
Yeah.
And the next thing we need to give up is fear. Fear will keep us stuck. False evidence appearing real. You want a great life, but the fear keeps you living a good life. You have to give up people. At every bus stop in life, somebody has to get off. It's okay to outgrow people. You don't have to explain yourself. It's okay. And the final chapter is you have to give up your past. Revisit your past, but don't reside there.
Love it, love it, love it. I gotta book you for something because I think a lot of my vendors, businesses, brands could definitely use that word because we live in a time of social media, and I do business consultations, and sometimes the business consultation turns into something that I'm not qualified for, and a lot of my clients are female. So I'm like, I've had crying females. I'm like, yo, I think we talking about business. Now we talking about, something else that's affecting your business, but I don't know what to tell you. I'm thinking it's a sales problem or, something like that. So I definitely think you could definitely help out and get you involved because a lot of times we get on social media, you see someone doing, appearing to be doing well, more, better than you, in the same industry, and you get discouraged. That's comparing. We see a lot of that. Or I see people. Something doesn't work out, and then they call me. Hey, I want to do a rebrand. I'm like, why you want to do a rebrand? You just started. Oh, cause I seen this and seen that. I'm like, that rebrand is not your problem. So, but I think the root of it could just be mental health, though.
Unresolved
Talking to you now.
issues, right? And so let me say this to you. Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, Five Guys, all sell burgers.
Yeah.
They all specialize in burgers. But they didn't stop to look at what the other people were doing. And that's the problem with us. We're always looking at other people. What's in your hand? What do you have to offer? What solution do you solve? Because I like all of those burgers. One day I might go get Burger King. Next day I might go get Wendy's. Sometimes I want to get Hardee's.
Yeah.
But the fact that they showed up then gives me an opportunity to make a choice.
Right.
And you have to look at your business like that. I had somebody say to me that 9 million people release books every year. I said, but they don't have my book. You got to be secure in what you know that God is calling you to. And I have to say that, and stop comparing, because if he give you the vision, he will give you the provision. Your customers will locate you based on your sound. You just have to show up.
You dropping it on them today. You came ready. Jeez.
Yes.
I think the world needs to hear that because like I said, I do a lot of consultations. I do consultations that they ain't even booked. It starts off one way. Now we talking about other stuff, and that's what we face a lot of. People that, you know, I got this thing called pull the trigger. So it's just basically like they got an idea, but they got a million reasons why they not gonna start the idea. I'm like, you gotta pull the trigger, man. Just start. Like you'll learn as you go. And I know a lot of people like that. Bezo, I want to do this, and they got the journal, they got the whole plan. I'm like, yo, well, it's not gonna do nothing in the journal when you gonna actually implement the idea. And I just had a breakthrough because now that I'm looking back, I think a lot of it's just mental health though. Yeah, so
that self work is important. I'm sorry if I didn't mean to cut you off. That's why I had to do the self work.
Yeah.
So I could first help myself, so I can go out and help other people, and I can identify when somebody is dealing with self-esteem and self-worth issue. Guess what? Because I used to deal with that, and I can identify when somebody's dealing with daddy issues or mama issues, because I'm not only am I trained, I lived it, and so people need to do the self-work, and when we talk about self-care, I'm not talking about your nails and your feet and your hair and your lashes. And I mean, all that's good because I do that too. But self-work is getting into your trash cans of your life and cleaning it out.
Clean that trash can out.
Yeah, so you want self-sabotage or so you can flow and walk into the blessed life that's here for you.
Yeah, you get a lot of entrepreneurs as clients?
I don't get a whole lot of entrepreneurs as clients, but that's something I'm thinking about.
They need it. Well, we need it. Yeah. I ain't gonna say they. Yeah. I need it.
Right,
we all need it.
Yeah. So
this is a very stressful lifestyle.
Yeah, I think what helps me because being an entrepreneur, one day you might sell out. In the next few weeks, you might sell nothing.
Nothing.
But when you can connect your why, your why has to be bigger than what you're seeing. My why is the fact that I get to help other people.
Yeah.
My why is the fact that because of my experiences, I am qualified to help people. And so when you connect your why, then you understand that you can stay there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. 3 books in what?
3 years.
3 years. That's very aggressive writing. You didn't plan it how did you plan that, or did you realize like, hey, when you got to give up to Glow, did you realize like, wow, this is my 3rd book, I'm moving?
Oh yeah, I was like, who's doing this? Because I've never written a book before, and I tell people, about the fear part of it. I was so fearful to write a book. I had never written a book before, and it's okay to be fearful, but do it afraid.
Yeah. And you got a publisher, you said, for your books? Or you self-published? Self-published. Wow. That's love. So anyone that wants to get into, writing books, you could be able to help them with that?
I could help them with that.
Okay. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with her. What's your social media and all that one more time before we get out of here?
Okay, well, my website again is dealinghopenotdope.com. You can book consultations there.
Yeah.
You can purchase my books there. I had to do something called Coffee Shop Talks where I meet people with a coffee setting. Oh, Coffee Shop Talk is a counseling session in a coffee shop. That's
what we need to know about.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Coffee Shop Talk. Okay.
Yeah. So you can book there. I'm on Facebook as Sandra Gamble, and that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and I found out she was related to one of my good friends, Lavonda.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's amazing. I did her wedding, and we talked yesterday. Actually, I'm working on some stuff for her.
I was there.
Yeah, so that's beautiful, man. Small world. Again, we love the work that you're doing. You're welcome to come back here anytime when you got that 4th book on the way. You got another one on the way?
I
don't know yet.
Keep quiet till it's finished.
Gotcha. Well, we love you and everything you contributed so far, to the community, to the world. And we want to make sure everybody go and check out these books, To Hell and Back, Good Grief, Give Up to Glow. We got the amazing Sandra Gamble in the building. And if you're dealing with mental health, which is very, very important, especially for, our black people, man, make sure you tap in with her or tap in with somebody to help you out on your journey. We appreciate you all. We love you all. We thank you all. And I go by the name of Bezo803 on that social media. This is Big Motion Podcast. And here we are with another one, y'all. Y'all make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, and tap in. We got the amazing Sandra in the building.